Good evening. I'm John Haldeman, the principal of Donegal High School, and on behalf of the administration, faculty, and staff of the Donegal School District, I would like to welcome you all to the 70th annual commencement exercise for Donegal High School. At this time, I would ask that everybody please stand and honor America as Donegal Senior Chorus member Zoe Snyder sings our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Great job, Zoe. We will begin this evening's program with a series of student presentations. It is now my pleasure to present to you the president of the class of 2024, Andrew Steinkamp. Andrew will be attending Penn State University, majoring in architecture. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Steinkamp.
Good evening, friends, families, faculty, staff, and the class of 2024. First off, I want to personally congratulate each and every one of my fellow classmates for everything you've achieved over the past 4 years, and a big thank you to the parents for all the sacrifices you made to watch us succeed. I know that my parents were the biggest help for me in high school, from waking me up at 8:02 so that I could be at school by 7:50, to always keeping money in my lunch account so that I could eat 8 slices of pizza every week. And thank you to the staff for putting up with us all this time. Personally, I know Mrs. Roberts is happy to see us go so that she doesn't have to worry about us playing Mario Kart when we should be in class. Whether you want to admit it or not, we are growing up, without mom and dad waking us up for school or paying for our meals. This chapter in your life is closed, and high school is over, and we are moments away from stepping into the real world. For some, this may be a relief to hear because of all our class has been through. From waking up to join Microsoft Teams meetings for class our freshman year in the midst of a global pandemic, to making the seniors mad after taking their parking spots in our sophomore year, to a stressful junior year with the reintroduction of finals, and ending with the uncertainty of what comes next and being expected to have it all planned out after senior year. But for others, we'll miss the morning routine we've had for the past 4 years. You'll never be stuck watching the clock on Friday, waiting for 2:45 with anticipation. You'll never be subject to Mr. Seibert ranting about a random documentary that you'll definitely be watching. And now, this will be the last time we're all together. Whether you're glad to be finally getting out of this place, or you're sad to be leaving it behind, every single one of us has made memories that we will cherish for the rest of our lives. Finally being in the front row of the student section, going right back to sleep after hearing we have a 2-hour delay, or season 1 of Fortnite, they're feelings we will never get back again. But as my favorite race car, Lightning McQueen, also had to learn, you can't turn back the clock, kid, but you can wind it up again. We only ever had a set amount of time in high school, and that time is up. You have all put in the effort that was required to now evolve and move on to the next chapter. At this very moment, we are at one of the few points in our lives where the future is entirely uncertain, and that's supposed to be exciting. Some of you might be scared or nervous for the next part of your life, or you feel like you're not ready to move on. But you've only completed about 20% of your life right now. We've just now finished the tutorial. This is where the game actually gets fun, and where you can finally go explore what you want and choose your own story. After this, we'll all be taking different paths, ending up in different places. And in the coming months, I can guarantee that every relative you have, even the ones you only see on Christmas and Easter, will be dealing out advice left and right. And while each piece is valuable, and you should listen with an open mind, only you can decide how to live your life. Yes, your parents and grandparents have experienced many things that you have not, and they can provide hard lessons so that you don't have to experience them for yourself. But the world has changed since they were kids. We are part of the first generation to grow up on the internet and social media, and as a direct result, unreal expectations have been forced on us in every sense. TikTok creators making us believe that we too can look like Chris Hemsworth, or viral influencers flexing their Bugattis, have indoctrinated us into believing that owning luxury goods is the only path to success. And while there may be some satisfaction for some in being built like Thor, or living in a mansion in LA, but I urge you to step away from the influence of social media and instead define what success truly means to you. To each and every one of us, success will mean something different. For some, it looks like being content with your loved ones and making sure you leave a better life for your children than you had. For others, it may be leaving a lasting impact on as many people as possible. And for some, it very well may be getting rich and traveling the world. Although we all have a different definition of success, all of us will have to work for our goals. Nothing will be handed to you, and everything requires effort. And finally, I leave you with a quote I stole from Brad Pitt after watching Moneyball. Hard work may not always result in success, but it will never result in regret. Lastly, thank you all for the honor of allowing me to represent you as class president, and I truly wish the best for all of you.
Thank you, Andrew. At this time, our senior chorus will present their senior song, I Lived by One Republic. This is arranged by Jacob Narverud. The chorus is directed by Mrs. Bethany Zoik. I would now like to present to you this evening's student speakers. Our first speaker this evening is the valedictorian of the class of 2024, Hannah Slobosian. I am pleased to announce that Hannah will be attending Penn State University Schreier's Honors College, where she will be majoring in communications and political science. Ladies and gentlemen, Hannah Slobosian.
Thank you, Mr. Haldeman. Good evening, everyone. Before I begin, I need to thank my family and friends, specifically my parents, whose selflessness and sacrifices amaze me, and my beautiful sisters, who are the most humble and compassionate supporters, and my built-in BFFs. I would also like to thank my teachers for their investment and encouragement, and God for his love, grace, and immeasurable kindness towards me. I would not be the person I am today without any of them. Now, to start, I have a confession to make. In 6th grade, I almost burned down the school library. Well, that might be a bit of an exaggeration, but I will always remember the dread I felt when I came back to school from a weekend and realized that the hot glue gun I had been using the Friday before was still plugged in and hot to the touch. My friends and I were terrified to tell our librarian, so now you know, Mr. Wolfcool. I should have switched to Scotch tape or sticky tack after that experience, but for some reason, I didn't. That same year, while hard at work on the same library project, I somehow managed to burn my hand with the same hot glue gun, and I still have that scar today. I don't remember exactly how that one happened, only that I held on to the hot glue gun for a few moments too long. I should have let go, but I didn't, and now I have the mark to prove it. Sometimes in life, though, that's what we do, isn't it? We don't want to give up whatever it is we're holding on to, even if letting go of it would be better for us. The ironic part is, just because it may be better doesn't mean it's easy. In fact, sometimes letting go is really, really difficult, and it brings along a plethora of fears. I didn't necessarily feel fear when I contemplated letting go of that hot glue gun. I only felt burned. But on nights like tonight, our graduation, the thought of letting go comes with eager anticipation, but also maybe fear of the unknown or loss. I ask you then, what are you letting go of tonight? My fellow classmates, are you leaving that club that's been your regular Thursday morning activity the past 4 years? Or the daily lunch table laughs with your closest friends? Are you letting go of that sport and coach who taught you the importance of grit? Or that favorite class where you found a passion for your future career? To our faculty, are you saying farewell to the student who you watched fail and then blossom? The kid who always kept your class, well, interesting and exciting, yet you couldn't help but smile when they walked in your door? Are you letting go of America's next trailblazers who will take what you taught them and use it to shape their different fields, invent something new, or advocate for a better world? And to our family and friends, are you letting go of the very person who made you a parent, a sibling, a grandparent, or a mentor? Are they the toddler who had once wrapped their little chubby hand around your finger so tightly to keep from falling over? Or the kid who held on for dear life while learning to doggy paddle in the neighbor's pool? Or the teenager who at 16 got the keys to your family car and caused you to nearly die of a heart attack in the process? We've all held on to something, and it's on nights like tonight that we are reminded, and in a way forced, to let go. Letting go, though, does not fully mean goodbye, for it is the experiences you've had and people you've interacted with that have molded you into the person who you are today, and each of them have left a permanent imprint on your life, causing you to be distinctly you. To demonstrate, I ask you to look no further than your own hand. Class of 2024, with your hand, you held onto your parents' fingers for that first step. With your hand, you held onto the handlebars of your bike, the wheel of your car, or maybe even a really, really hot glue gun. And with your hand, in a few short moments, you will proudly be able to shake hands with those on the stage and clutch your well-deserved high school diploma. Imagine for a moment, though, that each person and experience that you've held onto up until this point has etched themselves into the palm and fingers of your hand, creating a beautiful, one-in-a-million kind of story that makes you who you are. Your fingerprint, completely unique to you, is made up of where you've been so far, and now it will help shape where you're going. No matter where you go, though, moving forward, I believe each of our lives can be boiled down to living in two simple ways, with closed hands and opened hands. Obviously, I mean this in more than just a literal sense, so let me explain. First, living with a closed hand. This is what the majority of us have spent the most of our lives doing so far. It's the holding on, and its purpose is to continue adding to our ever-expanding life fingerprints. With closed hands, we will continue to take hold of new information, learn from our professors or bosses, and ultimately allow ourselves to still be etched into, influenced, and grown by the people and experiences that come our way. For some, this may be college, and others, the workforce or service, and maybe parenthood. As we wrap our hands around these future jobs, families and friends, opportunities, and knowledge, we will continue to be shaped and, as a result, bettered. Closing our hands is about personal improvement, and in this, we take the time to invest in relationships, glean from others' wisdom, and take hold of risks. To be realistic, not everything we grab hold of will be pretty. That hot glue gun was a case in point. But in all seriousness, hurtful people, hard experiences, and life's fair share of trials will leave scars on our hands and what we may deem as imperfections in our fingerprints. But these parts of life, sometimes so difficult to hold on through, are what develop character, strength, and perseverance, and build compassion in us that will not go unused. By opening our hands, we will be able to offer ourselves back to the people and places who once offered their hands to us, giving back to our communities through talents, time, ideas, and resources. This second, and in my opinion, more meaningful way to live begins in the letting go. For it is when our hands are emptied that we are most able to use the intricate web of experiences, wisdom, and learned abilities in our life's fingerprint and share them to better the world. When we aren't preoccupied with holding on to something, we will be free to give. In giving back, we leave an impact on the places and people we interact with. Just as you literally leave your fingerprint on every single thing you touch, your life's fingerprint, your story, is visible in all places you go, on all things that you grasp, and to all people you meet. So, class of 2024, whatever you do after Donegal, remember this cycle. Closed and open hands are both necessary for personal growth and our community's betterment, no matter the specific field, career, or work you pursue. To the future author gripping the pen, artist painting with a brush, and musician plucking an instrument, expand your creativity and share it. To the future mechanics turning a wrench, carpenters hammering a nail, and electricians wiring a house, learn your trade well and innovate. To the future teachers instructing students, nurses healing patients, and parents holding children, grow in your compassion and then comfort others. To the future firefighters clutching the hose, paramedics administering CPR, and Marines saluting our flag, train with perseverance and sacrifice with honor. To the future politicians signing bills, judges pounding gavels, and citizens casting ballots, educate yourselves and fight for what is right. Wherever you go, friends, grasp hold so that you can then give back. You've been given so much already, and in letting go, you're simply making space to grow your life's fingerprint so you can offer your hands as a blessing to those around you. Lastly, to our friends, family, and faculty, we'd be remiss to ignore the impact which your hands have had on us and our being here today. With your hands, you held on while we tried to steer that shaky bike, let go when you felt we were ready, put Band-Aids on those cuts and scrapes after we fell, and then pushed us gently back out to do it all again. You left a mark on us, and even as you let go, these marks will never completely erase. While you may not be holding our hands, doing our laundry, grading our papers, or handing us money, well, maybe that last one can continue a little longer. Your tireless work will not go in vain. To close, I ask you to each take one more look at your hand. If it's anything like mine right now, it might be a little bit sweaty, but besides that, it's nothing less than pure potential. If you're ready to let go, don't be hesitant to find something new to grab hold of. Embrace what's in store and grow from it. If you're still holding on, remember the hot glue gun. It's not always easy, but letting go isn't a goodbye. Rather, it's opening your hands to the world. It's reflecting on where you've been, realizing what you have, and remembering that you've got so much to give, and it's all at your fingertips. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah, and congratulations. Our second student speaker this evening is the Salutatorian of the class of 2024, Kara Nisley. I am pleased to announce that Kara will be attending the College of William and Mary, where she will be part of a joint degree program with the University of St. Andrews in Scotland. Kara plans on majoring in history. Ladies and gentlemen, Kara Nisley.
Good evening, friends, family, school board, and my fellow graduates. I am honored to address you this evening as the Salutatorian of the class of 2024. I'd like to start off by thanking my parents, who have supported me throughout my high school career, through all my sports seasons, late nights of homework, and theater rehearsals, who never doubted my abilities and had big dreams for my future, even when I was too scared to dream big. Thank you also to my teachers, who introduced me to new levels of knowledge, changed the way I see the world, and encouraged me throughout my high school journey. Thank you to my friends who stuck by my side through thick and thin. You guys made high school one of the best experiences of my life, and I'm forever grateful to you. Thank you to God, the author of my life, who always had my future laid out even when I couldn't see it, and who knew what I wanted long before I knew what I wanted. Finally, fellow graduates, I congratulate you on this milestone achievement. And speaking of stones, I would like to begin my address to you by talking about rocks. I think every child at some point or another had a plastic bag on their dresser full of pretty rocks that they'd found in the driveway or at the woods or at the beach. I know I did. Specifically, I liked shiny, sparkly rocks. Gray ones with little flecks of shiny stuff, rocks that changed color when you put them in water, rocks with cool shapes, rocks that fit nicely in my palm when I closed my hand. However, my ultimate goal was to one day find a rock, split it open, and discover that it was a geode full of sparkling crystals. Now, I'm not a geologist, nor do I claim to have any real scientific knowledge whatsoever, but I do know that from the outside, geodes do not appear to be anything special. They look pretty much like your average rock, not even worthy of going in the plastic bag on the dresser. They're not shiny or sparkly, and they don't have any sort of visual appeal. So in order to determine if a rock may be a geode, you must be intentionally looking for one. You must pick it up. If it is lighter than surrounding rocks, or rattles a little bit when you shake it next to your ear, then it's probably hollow and it probably contains lots of shiny crystals. At that point, you take your hammer and split it open, and hopefully your guess about the rock's identity was correct and you have a geode. So what do rocks have to do with high school? Let me explain. When I arrived at Donegal for my first day of high school, it was also my first day in the district and my first day of public school. I was absolutely terrified. I made it through 2 classes and ate lunch by myself in the cafeteria at a table of fellow freshman girls who pretty much ignored me. When I got to my 3rd period, I wrote a poem about my first impression of Donegal. It went like this. Today, I got on the bus alone, got off alone, went to class alone, ate lunch alone. It wasn't that bad being alone, just lonely. This school is different from any other school I've been to. I thought of a word to describe it during lunch, colder. I folded that piece of notebook paper and kept that poem in my backpack through all 4 years of high school, not because it was a correct interpretation of Donegal, but because it was wrong. Every time I looked at that poem, I was reminded of the danger of first impressions and of how much my feelings had been changed and challenged since my first day freshman year. You see, when I looked at Donegal for the first time, I saw a rough, dirty, unremarkable rock. It was cold, hard, and unyielding. I felt isolated and lost, rattling around inside the huge public school. And I felt like this for at least half of the school year, until I slowly but surely began to realize that maybe Donegal wasn't as bad as it had seemed on that first day, that maybe my first impression had been wrong. Like cracking open a geode, I was beginning to realize that maybe Donegal had some crystals of its own hidden inside its rough exterior. In order to find a geode, as I said, you must intentionally be looking for one. For me, this was when I began to slow down, when I stopped to breathe. High school is a busy time, as we all know, but even in the busyness, it is possible to slow down. It's a mindset rather than a lifestyle. I started noticing the sunrise on my way to school in the winter. I soaked in the laughter of the people around me. I took the time to enjoy the sun on my skin during cross-country practices, to enjoy simply being still on the bus rides home from meets, my head pressed against the glass window, eyes closing, music in the background. We often gloss over these moments, feeling that if we aren't being productive during every single spare second, then we must be failing. That is a lie. There is nothing more dangerous than running at full capacity for as long as possible. Nothing, not even a machine, is made to do that. The world is demanding. All of us are balancing our social lives, our jobs, our finances, and our futures, and it is a time-consuming task. As we step into the busy future, I challenge myself and I challenge you to value the little moments, the in-between moments, whether it's in a car, in the waiting room, or between classes. Instead of turning to your phone, distracting yourself, or immediately moving to something more productive, take a moment to breathe. Listen to the things around you. Because I've learned that the most beautiful moments are made up of small details that often get overlooked. As I slowed down during high school and reminded myself to breathe, I began to find the beauty in Donegal. Because this school and these people, you, really are beautiful. Standing here, I look out and I can see us all together, a group of wonderfully unique faces, personalities, and talents. Some of us will enter the medical field, using science to make the world a better place. Some of us will enter the workforce, providing unique services to the communities around you. Some of us will be artists, creating beauty, the stuff we live for. Some of us will enter the military, continuing to protect the precious freedoms that we have as Americans. Some of us will be teachers, accountants, business leaders, electricians, nurses, and so much more. As I look out at you today, I no longer see the rough exterior of an average-looking, boring rock. I see you for the individual, beautiful crystals that you are. I see a class that has persevered, grown, and transformed together. We came into high school as children, and we are leaving as adults with new responsibilities and schedules. We were once ordinary rocks, but now I can see that we were really just geodes waiting to be discovered. And although I never found my sparkly geode as a child, I have found it now in you. My first impression of Donegal, of you all, of us as a class, was wrong. And I keep my poem to remind me that I was wrong, that first impressions cannot be trusted. At the end of my junior year, I wrote a second poem. This time I talked about the small moments that made my high school experience so special to me. The football games, locker room conversations, running through the halls to get to our cars before the buses, eating lunch with my friends. I could go on. These things, more than anything academic that I learned, will be the things that I remember, the stories that I continue to tell, and I can almost guarantee that the same will be true for you too. In the future, as you leave your office or your workroom or your studio or your classroom, don't forget to look up at the sky. As you take your lunch break, don't forget to engage with the people around you. As you have a spare minute between classes, patients, or jobs, take a few seconds to simply be still. Actually look at the things around you and soak in the beauty of the small moment. It is a powerful thing. This goes for tonight as well. I know that the ultimate purpose of graduation is to get our diplomas, and I am just one more speech between us and freedom. But I challenge you right now, as I challenge myself, to take a deep breath and slow down. High school graduation only comes one time. Don't be so focused on the next step that you forget to remember this one. The future will come soon enough. And so my message to you as we step out into the world is to look for geodes in everything around you. Be wary of first impressions. Anything might look like a boring rock on the exterior, but if you are intentional about finding beauty, about slowing down, appreciating the smallest moment, and valuing the people around you, you may just find a cluster of crystal inside those average-looking rocks. Thank you.
Thank you, Kara, and congratulations. Now it's my pleasure to announce several academic awards. Our first award this evening is the Mountjoy Lions Club Valedictorian Award, and this award is presented to the highest-ranking student in the class in scholarship. This year's recipient of the award is Hannah Slobosian. Our next award is the Marietta Charitable Trust Salutatorian Award, and this award is presented to the student second highest in scholastic rank. The recipient of the award this year is Kara Nisley. The next award recognizes a student enrolled in a program at the Lancaster County Career and Technology Centers. The Mount Joy Lions Club Career and Technology Valedictorian Award is presented to the graduating Donegal senior who ranks first scholastically at the Career and Technology Centers and has exhibited qualities of leadership and service. The recipient of this award is Lauren Weber. Lauren will be attending Penn West California University in the fall. To further her education, she will be majoring in veterinary technology. Our last award this evening I have the pleasure of announcing is the Madeline G. McDaniel Memorial Award. This award is given in honor and in the memory of Madeline McDaniel, who is a grandmother of Morgan and Abigail Lay. Morgan and Abigail graduated 3rd and 4th, respectively, in the Donegal High School class of 1994. Just a little tidbit of trivia. This year's recipient's father graduated in 1994 from Donegal with these two students. This award is presented to the senior who has the 3rd highest ranking grade point average in the graduating class. The recipient of this year's award is Tirza Martin. Tirza's future plans are to do missions work in Honduras and teach English. At this time, I would like to recognize Joseph Biel Saavedra Sanchez. Biel, could you please make your way to the stage? Biel has spent this last school year with us as an exchange student from Spain. He joined our Donegal family this past August and was hosted by the Miller family. This evening, we would like to present him with the flag of the United States, which is flown over the U.S. Capitol. The flag is being presented on behalf of U.S. Senator Bob Casey. Mr. Keel, Mr. Overlander, school board members, faculty members, parents, relatives, and honored guests, at this time it is my pleasure to present to you the class of 2024. Before I formally address the class of 2024, I would like to recognize several groups of people. First, our DHS faculty and the faculty of the Donegal School District for all they have done to teach, motivate, guide, and mentor this year's graduating class. Next, my administrative assistant, Mrs. Larissa Shaver, and all of our office staff for their efforts for helping organizing all the events of graduation. Third, our high school administrative team, which is Assistant Principals Mrs. Heather Hairhauger and Mrs. Nicole Roberts, and the Director of Athletics and Extracurriculars, Mr. Frank Hawkins. I want to express my sincere gratitude to them for their support throughout this school year. I would also like to thank Mrs. Michelle Daggett, our senior class advisor, for help with organizing all the things involving the senior class. Your hard work and dedication to our senior class is much appreciated, Mrs. Daggett. Next, our entire Donegal School District maintenance and custodial crew who helped prepare facilities for this evening's events. And I would be remiss if I wouldn't thank Mr. John Coleman and his tech crew for their efforts for producing tonight's ceremony. And finally, the biggest thank you goes to parents and guardians of our graduating seniors. I would like to personally thank you for your support over these past 4 years of Donegal High School. Seniors, can you please stand and join me in a round of applause for those who I have just mentioned? You may be seated. Now it's my opportunity to talk to you a little bit. I'll try to make it brief. At each graduation ceremony, I have the honor of bestowing upon the graduating class some words of wisdom. I take this job fairly seriously. I want to talk to you about what your journey will look like next in this thing we called life. This year, as in past years, and the months leading up to this moment, I take time to reflect and think about what I'd like to say as I address you for one final time as a class together. While many people may think that this occasion calls for me to encourage you to pursue lifelong learning or make positive impacts in your chosen career path, tonight I will center my remarks around how to live a happy life, which seems appropriate since many people will refer to this time as the best years of your life. As incredulous as this may seem to you right now, that ought to tell you how many people have lost a bit of happiness along the way as they've left their years of youthfulness behind. Now, to write this speech, I could have relied on AI. I'm sure there are many sources on the topic of happiness that could have been compressed into tiny bullet points and examples. However, I didn't do that. I don't want a generic AI-generated list, but rather I wanted to address this class as the unique individuals that you are. And who better to help me with that research for this speech than some of you? So in April, I pulled a random sample of your classmates, equal numbers of male and female, and I interviewed them on what it means to them to be happy. I asked these students the same questions, I took notes, and reflected on some of the common themes. I actually also found out a few interesting tidbits about each of them. So, let me share some of those details that caught me by surprise. And as I do, interviewees, would you please stand and be recognized with your response? That's supposed to be a joke. You're supposed to laugh. I'm not going to make them stand up. I told them when I interviewed them that they had to keep our interview a secret, and I would not share their identity or their responses would remain anonymous. Unfortunately, the conversations I had didn't unlock the universal secret formula for how to ensure individual happiness. But what I realized is that happiness will look different for each of you. For some of you, happiness may be self-driven pursuit of being able to do things you want to do, like just going for a run or doing math problems. Yes, someone actually said they love doing math problems and it makes them happy. I kind of like that answer. For others, happiness may be going on adventures and finding excitement in life. And these could be going to the beach, exploring hiking trails, or even learning how to fly an airplane. While responses varied among those interviewed, one theme remained consistent throughout the responses: the need for friends and family in their life to make them happy. It was no surprise that everyone I interviewed either said their friends or their family make them the happiest. This included their fellow classmates they sit with lunch at, their little brother, their grandparents, their teammates, and even their moms and their dads. What was interesting was that most students mentioned one person specifically. While it's great to surround yourself in life with multiple people who make you happy, having a special connection with one person seems to be one thing you really need. I don't know if you are aware of this, class of 2024, but I watch and save a lot of Instagram reels, okay? One of the reels that I have saved is a snippet video where Simon Sinek, he's a famous speaker and author, talks about being grateful for your one true friend. In this reel, he said he can remember telling one of his closest friends that if he was really in the crap, he would be the person that he would call. And his friend didn't respond with thank you, but instead said, "I'd be mad if you didn't." Friendship, whether it's lifelong or just a chapter in your life, is one key to being happy. But we'd be kidding ourselves if we expect to be happy all the time. Happiness will come and go. This too is recognized by all of my interviewees. So what happens when we're not happy and feeling down? What should we do? Just as I thought, most of my interviewees said they reach out to the friend or family member they care for the most. Simon Sinek, again, this guy comes up on my For You page all the time, says to talk to a friend for 8 minutes. Remember that, 8 minutes. He says that when you are in need, all you need is 8 minutes to connect with someone who gets to make you feel better. 8 minutes isn't going to solve the problem, but it will help you get into the frame of mind to be better equipped to tackle it. Remember, it's important not only to have that type of friend, but to be that type of friend for someone. Having that friend or being that friend for someone will lead to happiness. Now, this question really made my interviewees think. Is it more important that you are happy or that you make other people happy? Now, I assured them that there's no right or wrong answer here, but none of the answers surprised me. They all said making other people happy is more important. One of my interviews actually works at a restaurant, and they said they love when they, give a person their food and they enjoy it. So again, it's making other people happy that's more importantly. Ultimately, we feel better when we make other people happy. In turn, this makes us happy. In the movie The Afterlife, one of the characters says, "Happiness is amazing. It's so amazing, it doesn't matter if it's yours or not." So remember this, it's not always about you. My final question in my interviews asks what makes them happy in the future. And most of you respond with the hopes of having a family of their own. Again, being surrounded by family was thought to bring happiness. I couldn't agree with them more. Most of you know I have 3 daughters, and I talk about them a lot, okay? But I think that all the parents and grandparents in this audience tonight can agree that this, in fact, is true. Most of the time, I'm not going to lie to you, being a parent is the hardest job that you will ever have. However, on an evening like tonight, we celebrate the hard work of students, but we also recognize the support of parents, friends, and family that help them get to their graduation stage. While most of the responses about being happy and finding happiness focus on others, one important part of happiness that I've learned over the years is that happiness starts from within. Being able to enjoy yourself really starts with being able to appreciate being you. So, be happy being you, class of 2024. Sure, you're not perfect, and no one is, and it's those imperfections that make you unique. Embrace who you are and be happy being you. Class of 2024, I congratulate you on reaching this milestone, and I wish you the best in your endless pursuit of happiness. Remember, I love you, and you will always be a member of our tribe. Thank you. Mr. Keel, I would like to present to you the members of the Donegal High School class of 2024 as candidates for graduation.
Good evening, graduates, families, faculty, and friends. Today marks a significant milestone in your lives, and it's my honor to stand before you as we celebrate the remarkable achievements of the class of 2024. Each of you has worked tirelessly to reach this moment, and your dedication, resilience, and hard work have brought you here today. As I thought about what gift or insight I might be able to provide for you, 3 things came to mind. First, the gift of time. Let's be honest, none of you came here this evening to listen to me speak. You all came here to see these fine folks walk across the stage. Because of this, I promise my message will be brief. Second, I'll share the one skill that I know has the capacity to change all of your lives for the better. And finally, third, I will give you a genuine and heartfelt reminder. A number of years ago, a close friend of mine asked me a thought-provoking question. He said, "What is the one thing you would want all students to know when they graduate from high school?" I think my friend was expecting something academic like the Pythagorean theorem or the branches of our federal government, but with very little hesitation, I responded, "The skill that I believe is more important than any other is empathy." In a world that is constantly changing and evolving, the ability to understand and share the feeling of others is invaluable. Empathy is a foundation of meaningful relationships, effective leadership, and a compassionate society. Even if you don't always agree with others, and believe me, you probably won't at times, your ability to understand the perspective of other people is a valuable life skill. In your future endeavors, whether you pursue higher education, enter the workforce, or embark on other adventures, remember that empathy is not a just nice to have trait. It's essential. It allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, to see the world from different perspectives, and to navigate the complexities of life with kindness and understanding. Listen actively, show compassion, and be open to the experiences of those around you. Empathy, my friends, will serve you well time and time again. Practice it, nurture it, model it for others. If you make empathy part of the foundation of who you are, your life will be truly better for it. So I'm on track to accomplish goal number 1. I've kept my speech brief so far. I've accomplished number 2 and shared the skill that I believe can positively impact your life. So finally, here is number 3, your genuine and heartfelt reminder. As you venture out into the world, remember that Donegal will always be here when you need it. Whether you grew up in Mount Joy, Marietta, or Maytown, the Donegal community has supported you. The friends and families who have cheered you on, and the familiar places that hold your memories, they are all part of your foundation. No matter where life takes you, you can always find comfort and strengths in the roots that you have here. But the best part is this. Truly, when you need a smile, a laugh, or a hug, we will be here. The world is yours to explore, but whenever you're ready to come home, we, the people in this room, will be here waiting for you. Of the billions of people, billions that have lived on this planet, only a few are able to say that they're graduates of Donegal School District. You are special. You are unique. You are us. So go forward, class of 2024, but always know, always keep in the back of your mind, whenever you would like to return home, we will be waiting for you with open arms to welcome home our sons and daughters. Class of 2024, as you move forward, carry with you the lessons you have learned, the friendships you have made, and the values that have shaped you. Know that you have the power to make a positive impact in the world, and that your hometown is truly, truly proud of you. Embrace the future with confidence, lead with empathy, and never forget where you come from. We're all excited to see the incredible things you will achieve. Thank you, and once again, congratulations, class of 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, by the powers vested in me as a commissioned officer of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I hereby declare before all persons assembled here tonight that these members of the Donegal High School class of 2024 have met or exceeded all requirements as established by the Pennsylvania Department of Education and the Board of School Directors of the Donegal School District to become recipients of a high school diploma. It is with great pride that I state the class of 2024 is ready to graduate. It is now my privilege to introduce the President of the Board of School Directors for Donegal School District, Mr. Oliver Overlander.
Thank you, Greg. I think the graduates will be happy, as my speech is going to be the shortest speech that you've heard this evening. As school board president, on behalf of the school board, I'd like to congratulate you and welcome your friends and family to Donegal High School to experience the 2024 graduation. The class of 2024 has finally made it to graduation day. This class has gone through the challenges over the last 4 years of the pandemic with COVID-19, experiencing online learning, coming to know what it's like to lose a sports season or to lose a band concert or performance, and you've endured over the last 4 years to reach all your goals and to be here this evening to walk across the stage. This class of 2024 is special to me, as my son Mark will be the third child in our family to graduate from Donegal and to follow my footsteps as a Donegal graduate. As a graduate of the class of 1990 from Donegal High School, I'm truly proud to say that I'm a Donegal graduate and that I'm always a Donegal Indian at heart. Over the last 4 years, this class has been special to me because not only did I get to see the class through my school board director eyes, but also in the community. I was a coach and coached a lot of the students in baseball. And also I had the privilege of being a junior high volunteer coach and coaching some of the fine young men in football. I learned that we have some great kids, we have some great families, and we have a lot of students that are very proud of our school and proud to be Donegal student athletes. As the graduates walk across the stage tonight, I would just ask that they remember where they come from and reflect on your years at Donegal and the relationships that you've built with your classmates that are beside you, with your teachers, with your family, and with your friends. Remember the journey that it took to get you here and be proud of what you've accomplished as you start your adult lives. And as you walk across your stage tonight and get your diploma, I would just ask that you take time to follow the advice of the legendary coach Jim Valvano, who was a basketball coach for NC State, North Carolina State. He died from cancer in 1993, but in a famous speech that he gave on ESPN during the ESPYs, he said that if you do 3 things each day, take the time to do 3 things each day, you will have lived a full life. Number 1 is laugh. Take the time to laugh each day, to be happy. Number 2 is to think. Spend some time in thought. Think about what you're doing each day and your experiences that you're going through. And then number 3, and probably most importantly, have your emotions move to tears either through love, joy, or emotion. Just think about it. If you do those 3 things each day of your adult lives, you'll have very full days. Congratulations to getting here tonight, and I wish you all the best as you leave Donegal, and just remember that once you're a Donegal Indian, you're always a Donegal Indian, and congratulations.
All right, I think this is the moment everybody's been waiting for. At this time, we will announce the graduates of Donegal High School for the class of 2024. So, announcing this evening's graduates will be Andrew Steinkamp, the class president, and Sarah Gaynor and Sylvie Willing, the student council co-presidents. I would ask that during the reading of names you're respectful and that applause will be held until all graduates' names are read to ensure families and students have the opportunity to hear the graduates' names read aloud. You ready? All right.
Hannah Elizabeth Slobosian. Kara Musser Nisley. Emelina Kenajine. Miles David Hoffman. Akil Sabir Anderson. Damian Joseph Aponte. Timothy Scott Ungst. Naya Janae Bantam. Gracie Marioletta Barrera Pineda. Ava Grace Barrett. Michael David Barton. Melissa Marie Beeston. Lucas Aaron Becker. Neela Iman Bilal. Angelina Rose Bloom. Jackson William Brady. Jaden Isaiah Brody. Addison Love Brown. Michaela Ty Brown. Ernest Temmie Brownson. Jackson David Butson. Kyle William Capps. Stuart Joseph Carroll. Tyler Emmanuel Cheatham. Lauren Grace Clark. Rayana Marie Clerico. Lorelei Lee Cochran. Brielle Nicole Collins. Natalie Grace Colwell. Regan Elizabeth Cook. Landis Lewis Kramer. Drake Patrick Cundiff.
Heaven Lee Destiny Curtis. Alexander C. Derenkamp. Manuel Angel de la Cruz. Alyssa Renee Dean. Kiara Diaz. Angele Arelise Ditzler. Brianna Marie Donor. Colin Scott Dono. Kristen Nicole Ebersole. Madison Lee Ebersole. Jordan Alexander Echterling. Madeline Kate Eichelberger. Quinn Erb. Jaden Ray Fells. Nathaniel Faria Castillo. Kendall Morgan Finnicle. Jaron McKee Floor. Tucker Allen Foltz. Maria Angeles Fontanez. Jackson Robert Foy. Richard Paul Pearson Fonkhauser. Taylor Lane Friedley. Emily Grace Fraunfelter. Sarah Grace Gaynor. Emma Olivia Garber. Ashley Garcia. Keegan Daniel Geezy. Marie Elizabeth Gaiman. Jitan Galley. James Pearsall Gone. Nicholas David Golden. Grace Anna Graham. Dylan Robert Greenig.
Joshua Michael Griffith. Cody James Grove. Cooper Trenton Gumbert. Danica Eve Guidish. Christina Rose Haynes. Madison Nicole Halterman. Brock Wayne Hamaker. Donald Lee Haynes. Brett James Hanold. Haley Renee Hauk.
Aubrey Renee Heim. Thomas Brenton Helfrich. Victoriana Lee Hendricks. Isabella Marie Herman. Gerardo Lazarus Hernandez. Jordy Nazareth Hernandez. Noah Jacob Hinkle. John Ryan Hinkle. Aiden Bannock Hipsky. Evelyn Marina Holden. Jacob Scott Hauser. Yanishka Engineed Huertas Rivera. Jackson Martin Hughes. Jeremiah Michael Hunger. Faith May Johns. Carter Donovan Johnson. Naomi Elizabeth Jonas. Joshua William Jones. Brian Antoine Cahunia.
Madison Ray Kendig. Michael Kepperling. Aiden Michael Killian. Michaela Felicity Kimes. Natalie Rose Kennard. Larissa Michelle Claymush. Braden Thomas Kreitzer. Alyssa Jane Lee. Michael Lees. Zanaya Jade Long. Alize Lovely Lopez Desiderio. Caden Parker Luttrell. Madeline Nicole Mackison. Grace May Madera. Amani Juri Madden. Bradley Nathaniel Mangus. Megan Nicole Marroquin Rivas. Tirza Adeline Martin. Donovan Michael Moss. Viviana Marie Martinez. Nathan James McClatchy.
Accepting Nathan's diploma this evening is his sister, Abby McClatchy. Nathan is a member of the DHS class of 2024 who passed away unexpectedly in May of 2023. Nathan was 18 years old at the time. This evening, we honor Nathan as a graduate of the class of 2024 by placing his cap and gown into his assigned seat. Seniors, would you please rise and honor our classmate, Nathan McClatchy.
Cassidy Bryn McClune. Zane Adler Meck. Donicia Nisi Mendoza. Montana Rose McNeese. Jocelyn Merritt.
Janelle Grace Miller. Jackson Todd Keith Miller. Jordan Garrett Miller. Stephen Andrew Miller. Wilson Daniel Miller. Morgana Miley Mitchell. Jeffrey Alex Monchik. Bo Moose. Johnzel Charles Morant. Ashley Ann Morgan. Brianna Lee Moyer. Reuben Allen Mumper. Serenity Ann Myers. Tamara Jean Noland. Tyra Lynn Noland. Ashlyn Cadence Nolt. Connor Lewis Nolt. Mark Oliver Overlander. Zachary Ryan Park. Evian Parag Patel. Megan Elizabeth Ann Patterson. Haley Virginia Paz. Callie Ann Pearson. John David Phillips. Joey James Platt. Connor Troy Price. Angelia Marie Gabrielle Prudhomme. Chad D. Ramble. Marco Antonio Ramirez.
Ruben Ramos. Joshua Daniel Rapp. Dana Renee Reed. Delaney Rose Ritus. Bryson Gerald Rainier. Caleb Francis Rainier. Rafael Antonio Rodriguez Jr. Jeliza Yvonne Rosas. Nathan Lynn Rothstein. Joseph Biel Saavedra Sanchez. Autumn Kansas Souter. Savannah Callie Schaefer. Grace Valentina Shell. Sage Marie Schmidt. Jonah Colson Schwartz. Landon Michael Sexton. Ryan James Shane. Felicity Grace Shelton. Ryan Scott Shepard. Bailey Marie Schoaf. Tyler William Slode. Zoe Hannah Snyder. Leilani Nevea Souders Morales. Ava Jean Stankiewicz. Timothy Patrick Stamen. Andrew Clark Steinkamp. Tyler Austin Stickley. Michaela Stoner. Aaron Seth Story. Cachet, Caller, Stuckey. Haley Noel Swanson. Claudia Rose Catherine Taylor. Rachel Leanne Chorkey. James Michael Turbetsky. Gianni Quinlan Tyler. Ryland Gregory Vandervalk. Benjamin John Viselli. Logan Michael Wallace. Charlotte Rose Warburton. Noah Thomas Warner. Corinne Faith Watson. Sophia Hope Watson. Daniel Thomas Watts. Ryan Christopher Weaver Blauser. Autumn Kaylida Weber. Lauren Nicole Weber. Henry Samuel Weiser. Pacey Addison White. Braylon Allen Wilkinson. Sylvie Elwin Willing. Charles William Winders. Gavin Nicholas Winters. Cody Vastine Wolf. Logan Michael Zell. Justin Michael Zink.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I would like to once again introduce Senior Class President Andrew Steinkamp for the response of the class of 2024.
Would the class of 2024 please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the class, I proudly present to you the 2024 graduates of Donegal High School. You may now flip your tassels.
Now would you please stand and join the class and the chorus in the singing of the Donegal High School Alma Mater. At the conclusion of the Alma Mater, I would ask that the graduates remain standing to be dismissed. And I would ask that our guests remain in their seats until all the graduates have recessed into the gym and have an opportunity to gather together one last time to celebrate and throw their caps. For those of you seated in the auditorium, you will be able to view this on the big screen. Following the throwing of their caps, families and friends are welcome to join the graduates in the gymnasium. Senior males, can you please remove your hats? Ladies and gentlemen, the Donegal High School Alma Mater.
Donegal is our school, onward to knowledge, victory is our goal, truth, love, and honor, making our lives complete, inspiration may we gain from our Donegal. Dear alma mater, Donegal will recall after we've left the ambitions for us all into our future. Memories we will take, last till all eternity, our dear Donegal.
Seniors, I would like you now to take the opportunity to check and make sure you were handed the right diploma as you walked across the stage. That's a joke. It's a joke. It's just your cover. Your diplomas are at the tables located between the common stairs. So please make sure before you leave this evening that you go and pick up your diploma. All right? I am very, very proud of all of you. You did a fantastic job this evening. I wish you a great evening. At this time, graduates, you are dismissed.
Microphone?